Today's tutorial will show you step by step how you can learn the soil type of your potential planting location and then what trees and shrubs might do well there. We'll be learning by using the online web soil survey hosted by the United States Department of Agriculture's Natural Resource Conservation Service to reveal the soil type, and then the Iowa Department of Natural Resources Woodland Suitability Guide to cross-reference the soil type with the land classifications that outline what trees and shrubs are suitable. We'll start with a search of Web Soil Survey on whatever search engine you may use. In most cases, it should come up at the top of the search list. The web page for the Web Soil Survey tool guides you to various subject topics on the left-hand side of the web page. And on the right-hand side of the web page, options for I want to, with lots of possibilities ranging from running the Web Soil Survey tool to using the Web Soil Survey on a mobile device. For most users, once they are on the Web Soil Survey page, they will simply click on the large green button towards the top of the screen that says Start WSS. WSS stands for Start Web Soil Survey. Once you enter the Web Soil Survey tool, a map of the United States will be presented. On the left-hand side of the screen is a list of options with headers like Search, Area of Interest, and Quick Navigation. Some of those headings contain additional information and options via drop-down menus. For example, the Quick Navigation heading contains various options for navigating the map. You can type in an address for a location, or you can navigate by state and county. You can even use the hydrological unit if you know it. The map area is called the Area of Interest Interactive Map. And just above the map, there are several icons to help you navigate. To the far right-hand side of the page, again, just above the map area, is a question mark bubble icon. If you click on the question mark bubble icon, information on what all the icons do and how to use them will be presented. This is a first stop for any new user to familiarize yourself with how to navigate the Web Soil Survey tool. Next to the question mark bubble are two icons that look almost identical. These icons will change the view of your page to make the map full screen without those drop-down options on the left-hand side, or the normal map layout, which includes the drop-down box options like Search, Area of Interest, or Quick Navigation. The 6 primary icons I use, located just above the map, are the magnifying glasses to zoom in and out, the hand icon, which allows me to pan the screen and move the map to where I need it, the green ruler, which provides measurements, and the 2 AOI icons, one with a red square and the other with a red polygon. The red box icon is to make a square or rectangle on the map to highlight the area you are interested to getting the soils from. The second icon with the polygon shape is used to capture an area on the map that is not a perfect square or rectangle. It allows the user to freehand an area with curves and irregular dimensions. Next to the AOI buttons is a drop-down box called View Extent and allows the user to view areas in the Pacific Basin and places like Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. You can also view Hawaii and Alaska. To get started, type in the address of the location you would like to explore. Or, alternatively, you can use the magnifying glass Zoom In tool to either click on the map and zoom in to half the size of what you are currently viewing, or you can click and drag a square or rectangle to encompass the area you want to zoom into. Once you are zoomed into the area you want to investigate, it's time to define the specific area you want information on. You have two options. The first is to make a square or rectangle around the area you want defined. In this particular case, the area that I want to investigate and learn about can't be fully selected with only the rectangle tool. I want to freehand draw the area to be defined. For that, I will use the other icon with the red polygon shape and start to outline the area I want defined. Once you have the area encompassed, double-click your mouse and it should start generating a report of that defined area. In some cases, you will get an error message indicating there was a problem selecting your area of interest. In that case, simply try again. And remember, you can't cross over any other previous line when you're using the freehand polygon area of interest option. Now that our area is selected, we can go to the top of the page where we have some tabs labeled Soil Map, Soil Data Explorer, and Download Soils Data. Also, there is a shopping cart free, which is truly free. In this example, I want the soils map so that I can see what the soils type and percentages are for this particular area. You can give your map a custom title, which is nice if you run multiple soil reports on various pieces of ground. Next, we want to download this report as a PDF for our files. To do that, click on the Shopping Cart tab. There will be options for you on the left-hand side of the page, ranging from the size and scale of the map and paper size to print on, as well as layers you want to include in the soil report. Once again, you will have a chance to customize any name for the soils report. And once you have everything as you want it, click on the Checkout button in the upper right-hand corner of the website. This will reveal a pop-up box that asks you if you want to get it now or download later. Make your selection and then click OK, and you are off and running, and the soils report from the Web Soil Survey is now a PDF document you can download. Download your soils report and keep it with other important documents as part of your project. It is a valuable resource and reference for any grower. Let's take a closer look at the soils report and how it's laid out. The cover should have your custom title or the default title that was selected for the project, and then an outline of the area of interest that this report covers. The second page is a preface page that is an interesting read for any newbie. Next is a simple table of contents that provides quick and easy reference to the information contained in the report. The next couple of pages are interesting because they explain how soils are made. Again, an interesting read for anyone old or young that is interested in growing anything from row crops to trees and shrubs. Some brief info about the soil map, and finally the map itself that contains the area of interest and the soil type boundaries. If we continue on, we come to a map legend that provides all sorts of useful information. And then there's the other big piece of information we need, the map unit legend that tells us the soil type corresponding to the soil type number, as well as how many acres of that particular soil type is included in the area of interest. This is also expressed as a percentage of the overall area of interest. Combined with the information from the Woodland Suitability Guide, this is all we need to get a better picture of whether a specific agroforestry crop or practice will do well in a particular area of the farm. The rest of the soil report contains information specific to the soil types highlighted on the map. Basically, descriptions of those soil types, which are included in the report. An amazing amount of information about those unique soil types is included. The second part of our tutorial on Right Plant, Right Place involves the use of the Iowa Department of Natural Resources Woodland Suitability Guide. This document provides practical information about what trees and shrubs will grow and are suitable for specific soil types. Using your favorite internet browser, do a search for Iowa Woodland Suitability Guide 2014. 2014 because that was the last year it was updated. Other, older versions might be floating around in the internet, but the 2014 version is the most recent. This document is very straightforward. The instructions have three main steps. First, locate the soil type in the column titled Soil Type. All the soils are listed in alphabetical order. Once you have found your soil type, determine the Conservation Suitability Group, the acronym CSG, in column 2, titled CSG. This will be a number. Then go to the tables at the back or bottom of the document to learn about the list of trees and shrubs that are best suited to the soils in that group. Non-native species are marked with the double N's in parentheses, and species especially susceptible to insects and/or disease are marked with the small bug icon in parentheses. For our particular example, we have the following soil types of Nicolet, Storden, Clarion, and Canastillo. The Conservation Suitability Group, or CSG, for the Nicolet soils is 1. The CSG for the Storden soil type is 8. The CSG for the Clarion soils is 3. And the CSG for the Canastillo soils is 2. Let's explore what each of these numbers mean. CSG1 is moderately wet and described as deep soils that are somewhat poorly drained. More information is available in the description. The hardwood, conifer, and shrub species that are suitable for planting in these types of soils are presented. There are many hardwood and shrub species that are suitable, and of course much fewer options for the conifers. CSG2 is wet and described as deep soils that are poorly drained with a seasonal water table within 12 inches of the soil surface. Much fewer hardwood, conifer, and shrub options are available for wet soils. CSG is well-drained, moist, and loamy, and described as deep to medium textured soils that are moderately well or well-drained. This is some of the best soil, and thus lots of options exist for hardwoods, conifers, and shrubs. Very quickly, CSG4 is well-drained and clayey. CSG5 is well-drained, dry, loamy. CSG6 is moderately deep. Again, some good quality soils with lots of options. CSG7 is deep and sandy. And CSG8 is calcareous. In our example, we had one soil type, the Storden, that had a CSG of 8. It was a relatively small percentage at less than 10% of the overall area. These soils are described as deep and moderately well-drained to well-drained that have a high concentration of calcium carbonate in the soil profile. The final CSGs are 8W, which is wet calcareous soils. CSG9 is saline or sodic soils that are strongly alkaline. And then finally CSG10, which is a sort of catch-all for shallow soils or miscellaneous areas. Those are the tools and pieces of information you need to screen your piece of ground for the suitability of the crop or practice you want to establish.